Hi, Gambo.
Birdsy, what's going on?
Not a lot, my friend. How we doing over there? We good?
Good. Yeah, good.
Right.
Thursday already. Thursday.
I know. This week's flown by, right?
It's the whole year's flying by.
It's very true.
But almost half the year's over.
We were looking at the calendar yesterday during one of the commercial breaks, and the summer vacation season is about to begin.
I know.
There's a stretch there where you and I go a long time where we're not going to see much of each other.
Like 6 weeks,
well,
right?
Because we've been, and not to pat ourselves on the back, but we're going to pat ourselves on the back. We make it a priority to make sure one of us are always here. Like that's a big deal to us, and I think it's starting to be a big deal to some of the other shows as well. We just want to make sure one of us are always on the air, and it's not two fill-ins. Right. And we've been like that for the 13 years we've been together. So yeah, because you've got a lot of vacation time, and I've got a lot of vacation time. We're going through a stretch but this is not that week. Next week is not that week, and we've got a lot of important things to talk about. So let's weigh in on our top story today on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Burns and Gambo, the weigh-in.
I appreciate you asking the question. I know you have to ask it. But as you know, when it comes to contract negotiations, player contracts and so forth, we don't discuss those. But it's something that in terms of our team and so forth, we're always talking about building our team.
It's Brian Gregory, general manager of the Phoenix Suns, on Tuesday at the Jordan Ott intro press conference. Asked a question about KD, politely declining to answer a question about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's future and the trade possibilities are our top story of the day. What do you know? I don't know how else to set this up other than to say, what do you know, Gambo?
I will start with this. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
I expect that Kevin Durant will be traded from the Phoenix Suns next week.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good night, everybody.
Dun, dun, dun. Next week, huh?
Wait, that's it?
No, you can't leave.
Oh, I can't.
No, look, seriously, I know that you walk on water around here, but you cannot walk out after 3 minutes and 49 seconds. You're not that special, all right? Cool your jets.
I expect that Kevin Durant will be traded from the Phoenix Suns next week.
Now,
there's a lot of stuff out there. Some of it's accurate. A lot of it is not accurate. But I do expect that we've said it all along. He's going to be traded by the draft. Outside shot, something happens sooner, but I'm going to say that next week, my expectations are Kevin Durant is traded.
That is sooner. The draft is 2 weeks.
Yes, 2 weeks.
Next week is a week before the draft. Well,
yeah.
When I was assuming the week of the draft, I was even
up to the day of the draft,
having even like slight guilt about being on vacation the week of the NBA draft. The fact that it might happen, I mean, to me, a week before, if next week is potentially the week, I think that's significantly before. I mean, the NBA Finals might still be going on if that's the case, right?
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks from yesterday is the first round of the NBA draft, so that is getting this thing done in kind of a neat and tidy fashion, I think, if you're the Phoenix Suns.
There are 6 teams that we know of that have been talked about that have that we believe that there are discussions going on between Kevin Durant's people and the Suns and these teams. And those teams are the Spurs and the Rockets, the Miami Heat, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Toronto Raptors, and the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, it could be another wild card or two, right? There could be another couple wild card teams. I've said that. Other people have said that. I think Shams said that yesterday.
Yes, he did.
Could be a couple of other teams that are trying to get into the mix in 3-team deals and 4-team deals. There is no shortage of suitors for Kevin Durant. For everybody that was concerned that his age might cause that to happen, there is no shortage of suitors. There are a lot of teams that are interested in getting Kevin Durant, and I do believe his preferred destinations are the Texas teams.
San Antonio and Houston.
I believe that's where he prefers to go, is San Antonio and Houston. But I want to talk about something as to why I don't think that KD holds all the leverage. We always talk about leverage when we talk about trades, right? Who has the leverage? Who does the player have the leverage? The team have the leverage? A lot of times the players have the leverage. I don't believe that there are teams out there that are unwilling to trade for Kevin Durant and not do the extension. A lot of talk has been on Toronto. Would Toronto do that?
Yes.
I think other teams would too.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
I think
That's
other
interesting.
teams would too. Let me explain why. Let me explain why. Kevin Durant has 1 year left on his deal. If a team trades for him, any of these teams we talked about, and he's like, hey, I really don't want to go there. It's a cold weather city, or I don't like it there. I really just want to go to Texas. The team trading for him retains Kevin Durant's bird rights. That team can offer Kevin Durant more money than anybody else. If Kevin Durant wants to leave after a year, okay, you're free to leave. But the only teams that could give him max type money are teams that would be under the cap. Now, the cap will reset in a year, but it's usually your Utah Jazz, your Brooklyn Nets, your Washington Wizards, those type of teams that are under the cap.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean you can't get under the cap. There are probably good teams that could get under the cap if Durant's a free
If they wanted to make a run at
agency.
Kevin Durant, yeah.
Right, but not everybody is. So you're going to look at next year, who's under the cap. That's where Kevin Durant could go for max money, whoever's under the cap. If Kevin Durant said, you know what, screw it, I don't want to be here, and I'm not going to go sign with one of those teams, your option is basically the mid-level exception for $16 million with another team. I want to go to the Spurs. I want to go to the Rock. I want to go here. Okay, they're over the cap. They could offer, like some of these teams could offer you a mid-level. Now, you might say, screw it, I've made $400 million.
Of course, you might very well say that.
I'm going to go where I want to go.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't care about the money. I've made $400 million. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter to me. So that's where I think that KD loses some leverage, is that the team that trades for him has his bird rights. I think there are several teams that are interested in trading for Kevin Durant and not caring so much about I got to get an extension
It's
done.
interesting because ever since the Toronto option has come open and has been talked about, and we've talked about it on our shows, all the shows have talked about it for the last couple of days, my mind's just been racing with the possibilities of a team saying, to hell with it. We don't need to sign him to an extension. We're going to trade for you anyway. We're going to do it. And if there's enough of those teams that don't care about Kevin Durant's blessing, and if the Suns don't care about Kevin Durant's blessing, then that creates leverage for the Suns in its own separate little pool, right?
Yes.
Like here's 4 teams, and none of them give a darn about whether Kevin Durant wants to go there or not. They're going to trade for him anyway, and just hope
several.
that. And that's
there are several.
That's exciting to me. All right, as excited as you can get about trading away an all-time great like Kevin Durant, it's exciting to me that there might be teams that we, are haven't talked a lot about. There might be players we haven't talked a lot about, possibilities that we haven't talked a lot about, because we're not so worried about what does Kevin Durant want, where does Kevin Durant want to go. And again, this isn't about Toronto or whether he wants to go to Toronto or not. This is just about teams saying, screw it, we don't care. We want you so bad, it doesn't matter to us, which is kind of similar to what Charles Barkley was saying when he was on with Bickley and Murata a couple of days ago.
Well, they're screwed right now. So you make the best deal for Kevin. That's the first thing. You make the best deal. I hear they're like working with him and whatever. I'm like, no, you don't work with him. You make the best deal for the team. So you make the best deal for the team because you got to start your rebuild. You make the best deal for KD. No matter, don't worry about his feelings. You make the best deal for yourself because, some people going to take a chance with him, some people not. 'Cause he only got 1 year left on his deal, and he's 37 years old. Probably not going to get a lot, but somebody might be stupid and give you a lot. Mm-hmm. So you make the best deal for the Phoenix Suns.
That's kind of what you're talking about here.
I think
right?
they're going to make the best deal for the Phoenix Suns. I think Suns fans can rest assured that it's not Kevin Durant only wants to go here and that's it. He's got I only want to play for this team. That is not what is happening. That is not what is happening. There are teams, multiple teams, that would be willing to trade for Kevin Durant because, okay, you don't want to sign an extension with me now? Okay, we're going to trade for you. We're going to try to win with you. We'll try to win you over. That happened to Siakam in Indiana.
Sure.
Indiana traded for Pascal Siakam. They gave him half a year to win him over. And he said, you know what? I like it here.
I kind of like it here.
I kind of like it here. I like these guys. You could trade for Kevin Durant, see how it plays out. At the end of the year, we have your bird rights. Nobody can pay you more. So if money isn't it, nobody can pay you more than us.
So if money is what you want,
Right.
you're not going to make any more than you will here.
And if you want to leave as a free agent, you could look at the teams that are under the cap. You could sign for big money with them, but do you really want to go to any of those teams? So I think that the Suns are in a pretty good shape.
next
Pretty
week.
good. I'm expecting it'll be next
Interesting.
week.
Very, very.
You're not on
interesting.
vacation, are you?
No, I already
Mitch, you on
covered.
vacation
I
next
already
week?
covered this.
Who's
I'm not on vacation.
Okay, not on vacation.
No,
You're on vacation?
You're on vacation next week. It's just like, yeah, peace out, bro.
Mitch is
There will
not
be no basketball on my mind next
See
week.
you later, man. Because the rest of us don't vacation like you do. The rest of us are just like, peace out, man. See ya. I'll talk to you when I get back.
Yeah.
Asta.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.